Hello everybody and welcome to the beginning of the round of 8. I am Nyoken and of course joined by Scan. Today we're going to have a PvP between Mini and Best. We haven't actually seen that many PvPs so far in the tournament, so this should be an exciting day. Because PvP is so hyper aggressive, we may actually have a quick day. So I'm hoping that we have a 3-2 score for one of the players. Now Scan, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, you are here. Okay, so what are your thoughts on this PvP that we're going to see today?
So I've been watching how Mini was playing from his VOD. He is kind of like a player who likes to do a lot of mining games than more likely a standard opening. So I hope to see a lot of new strategies that they are going to be played on a new map. So I'm excited to see how Mini is going to play against Best.
Yeah, I saw that the first two maps of today are going to be the new maps. It's going to be Ascension and then Ultimate Stream and then Polypoid, I think, are the first three maps. Can't remember what the fourth and fifth one are. I think it's Polaris Rhapsody and Eclipse. So we're going to see
a lot of two-players map.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of two-player maps, as you mentioned, and it's going to be a nice showing of the new maps that were made specifically for the ASL. I really don't watch PvP that often. Mini strikes me as like a Protoss versus Zerg expert, and of course Best is known for his Protoss versus Terran. So I'm not too sure what to actually expect from either of these players in PvP. Are they somebody that just plays standard all the time? Are they somebody that's like Rain, who can literally play any single build and make it work?
Previously, we have watched how Snow was playing against Bisu when Bisu was going for the Dark Templar opening and Snow went for the very short shuttle Dragon unload, like elevator drop.
Oh yeah,
so
that was sick.
I have a feeling none of them will go for Dark Templar because I feel like that could be the possibility of a counter against the Dark Templar build.
Yeah, that is true. We may end up seeing no DT openers. Most of the time we see just the standard robotics follow-up. So I expect it to be standard, but you never know, I guess. PvP is very volatile sometimes. I think I'm going to favor Mini a little bit here. Even though I like Best quite a bit. Mini just, I don't know what it is about him. He seems to always do a little bit better than Best in the ASL also. So I think I'm going to lean towards him. Looks like we are going to go into a quick interview in just a couple minutes with the players.
And we are back to ASL Season 11, round of 8, match 1. A week ago, we do the round of 8, the quarterfinal, the draw by the caster, and we have the bracket ready. And we ended up having Mini versus Best, and Mini. We are going to be meeting Mini and Best now. Hello.
네, 먼저 변현재 선수 대진 추첨 후에 도재욱 선수의 대결을 좀 피하고 싶었다는 느낌을 받았거든요. 네, 어떤
Mini, you said you had a feeling that you kinda not wanted to meet Best in quarterfinal after the draw. And how do you feel? And Mini is saying
자신 있다라고 생각을 했는데 어쩌다 보니 이제 조 2등 토스가 2명이더라고요.
Mini is saying that he is very confident to play against Zerg and Terran, but when he was watching the other players who are playing in the round of 16 and seeing quite a lot of Protoss players were making it through into quarterfinal as a second player advancing into the round of 8, so he was not feeling that great because he had to play against Protoss.
기분 좋아하고 있을 거예요. 저한테 좀 세가지고.
And Best is saying,
저 같은 경우는 8강에서 누굴 만나더라도 제가 좀
even Mini says he does not like to play PvP, but I'm pretty sure inside of his mind he is very happy to play PvP against Best.
도재욱 선수는 지난 시즌에도 8강 경기를 치른 반면에 변현재 선수는
So last season, Best made it into quarterfinal, and you also made it into quarterfinal again.
과정은 어땠는지도 좀 궁금하거든요.
And Mini, you are now going to be playing against Best in this round of 8. How did you prepare?
좀 생각이 너무 많았고.
And Mini is answering that
선수가 이제 원래 4명이었잖아요. 24강이랑 16강은 뭔가 너무 썰렁.
Mini is saying that he had to prepare a lot
굉장히
because
걸리는 것
the
같아요.
근데
maps are
김윤중
not
선수의 도움을 좀 받으셨나요?
a standard map compared to the other
근데
maps.
예전부터 도움을 받으면 떨어져가지고 도움을 안
And
받기로.
previously, when we were playing on a round of 24 and round of 16, we had 4 players
근데 윤중이 형도 도움을
on the
주면
offline
떨어지는 거를
stage
본인이
and
그렇게
waiting for the
생각하더라고요.
games. But
근데
this
이제는
time,
안 주려고 하는 것 같아요.
now we just move
그럼
into the
어떤
game
선수에게
instantly
좀
after the interview. So
조언이나
he's not
좀 도움을 받으셨을까요?
not
저는
feeling that confident right now.
일단은 제가 이제 상대방 플레이를 직접 하는 걸 좋아하거든요. 그래서 이제 컴퓨터랑 엄청 연습을 하고 나서
네.
이제
Mini said
게임을 하는
instead of getting
플레이를
any
좀 많이
feedback
좋아하거든요. 이제
by
그전에
the
이제
other
빌드 싸움이 엄청
players,
크다
like
보니까
practice
제가 이제
partner,
상대방
he likes to
플레이를
play
해야지
against the computers and
이제
do
그
some
시간에 맞춰서
type of
이제 무슨
strategies
운동을
that
한다는 걸 느끼기
his
때문에
opponent will do
제가 게임을 많이
and
했던 것 같아요.
try to get the optimization
도재욱
from there.
선수 오늘 유독 조금 긴장을 하고 계시는 것 같은데 제 느낌이 혹시
So
맞나요?
Caster is saying that when I look at you best, you feel like you're nervous.
네.
Are you feeling nervous right now?
생각밖에 없어요 그냥.
And Best is saying
아무래도
he's not
지난
feeling
시즌
nervous. He's not
8강에서도
feeling that
탈락했던 기억
much of a nervous
때문에
right now. But
4강에 대한
he really wants to
간절함이
play
굉장히
round of 8 right
강하게
now.
좀 자리 잡고 있으실 거라는 생각이 들거든요.
네네.
다전제 준비하면서는 좀 어떠셨나요?
So since
제가
since this is going to be a
8강을
best of
이제
5
다른 리그랑
PvP
같이
series,
3대 0을 너무 많이 당했어요. 그래서 오늘만큼은 일단은 뭐
how did you prepare? And Best is saying
첫 경기 이겨야 되잖아요. 첫 경기를 꼭 이기고 싶고. 그리고
he really wants to win the
현주랑
first
연습한 줄
game.
알고 좀 호재인 줄 알았는데
And even if he
아니었네요.
loses,
좀 그래서 좀
he does not want to
아쉬워요.
lose 3 to
도재욱
0.
선수는 어떤 선수와 좀 연습을 하셨어요?
저는 비밀이지만
who are
이제
the-
굉장한 선수라거든요.
비밀이다.
네.
Who are the practice
만약에
partners?
추후에
Best
좀
answer.
밝혀주신다면
He
좋을
cannot
것
say it.
같아요. 아무래도 많은
he-
분들이 두
So
선수의
he said he cannot say it, and Caster
때문에
is
오늘도
kind of
많은 분들이 기대를 하고
expecting
계시거든요.
Best to
많은 선수들이 변현재 선수와
tell
경기하면 정말
us
짜증난다라는 말을 할 정도로
who are the
굉장히
practice
까다로운
partner after
경제로
the game if
상대를
he
제압하는
makes it
변현재
into
선수.
semifinal.
반면에 물량으로 또 상대를 제압하는 도재욱 선수인데 서로가 생각하기에
So Mini is type of a player who
부분은
likes to do
변현재 선수 어떤 부분인가요?
lots of mind
일단은
games and micro oriented.
너무
with
이제
the
최저가가
different strategies,
없으니까 이제 똑같이
and Best is type of
가면 안 된다고
Best is a
생각하거든요.
type of player who
제가
likes to do
이제
a
유닛 컨트롤
pure
제가
standard
한 발짝
and
더 앞서
macro
나가야 되기
oriented.
때문에 이제 제가 조금 마음이 더 급할 수 있다라고 생각.
And how do you feel? So
도재욱
Mini
선수는 어떠세요?
is
저도 똑같아요. 제가 최적화적인 부분은 조금 더 낫다고
Mini is
생각하는데
analyzing the
뭐 이제
opponent
현재가
that
개념이라든가 이제 뭐 상대방을 좀 당황스럽게 하는
if
플레이를 잘해서
Best is on a
그거에
great
좀
shape
많이
and
휘둘리다 지는 경우가
really
많은데
focusing on a macro oriented, he might have to
서로
He might have
다른
to,
부분을 좀 견제하고 있는 것 같아요. 변현재 선수 좀 천천히
feel
해야
comfortable
된다.
when
도재욱
he's
선수는
playing.
휘둘리면 안
He should
된다라는
not be
생각을 좀
rushing
갖고 계시는 것
and not
같은데
making any
스코어는
mistakes
어떻게
from
좀
there.
예상하고 계세요, 변현재 선수?
And Best is also saying the opposite,
저는 3대
vice
2로
versa.
이길 것 같아요.
3대 2.
What
풀세트를 갈 것 같다.
could be the
도재욱
score
선수는요?
for the round of 8? And Mini is saying he thinks he will be making it into semifinal 3 to 2.
네, 자 그럼 끝으로 두
And Best
선수의
said
이 8강
he
첫
will-
경기를
if he wins the first game, he will win
들어보도록
3-0.
하겠습니다. 변현재 선수.
Any last word,
8강을
Mini?
너무 오랜만에 와서 그런지 뭔가 지금
It's been a long time that he hasn't come
차가운 것
to
같아요.
round of
그래서
8,
긴장되는 것 같고
so
최대한
he is feeling
잘할 수
nervous.
있도록 해보겠습니다.
He
도재욱
really
선수
wants
한 말씀
to
해주시죠.
일단은 뭐
perform really well
제가
tonight.
생각했을 때 가장 까다로운 상대를 만난 것 같은데
And Best is
이
saying
상대를 꺾으면은 그래도 좀더
he thinks
기대를 해주지 않을까 하고
his opponent,
오랜만에
Mini,
이제 한번
might be the
네,
most
두 선수의 멋진 경기 한번
the
기대해
hardest
보도록
of player
하겠습니다. 인터뷰
that he
고맙습니다.
might be facing. If he makes it through, he might be
ASL
having
시즌
a
11 8강 첫
he
번째
might
경기를
be playing really
앞두고
well
있는
for this
변현재
tournament
선수와
in
도재욱
ASL Season
선수와
11.
인터뷰 나눠봤습니다.
And now we're
과연
done
어떤
with the
선수가
interview.
이번 시즌 첫 시드권을 획득하며
Well, it's
4강에
interesting that Best thinks he's going to make it out 3-0 if he wins the first game. I'm curious what he's got planned. You know, when you think of PvP, you obviously think of really good Reaver control, really good harassment, and usually when you think about that, players like Bisu, Snow, Stork, those types of players come to mind. But really for Mini and Best, I'm not saying they don't have great Reaver control, but they are not the ones that come to mind, for me at least, as Reaver experts. So I am curious what their build orders are going to be. Are we going to see anything really crazy? Are we going to see that DT opener into the Forge expand? You seem to think that's not going to be the case because simply of last week we saw the elevator goon counter. But I think we might see a delayed DT at some point. I'm wondering if anybody's going to get hyper aggressive. Like, are we going to see proxy 2-gate or just 2 gates in our main? That would also be very interesting opener, I think. We're looking at the, I guess, statistics from previous ASLs.
And we can see Mini made it into quarterfinal 4 times, and Best also made it into quarterfinal 4 times, but 2 consecutive times right now. And Best is having 3 losing streak on a best of 5 series on an ASL stage, ASL tournament. Mini also Mini only played a 1 best of 5. Probably was like 4 or 5 seasons ago. Played against Snow 1-3. He lost. And there are the recent best of 5 series. Season 6 quarterfinal. Mini lost to Flash 3-0. Season 7 the wild card versus Action 3-2. Season 7 quarterfinal versus Calm 3-1. Season 7 semifinal against Effort 3-2. And season 7 final, he lost against the last one 1-3. And season 2 for Best, he made it. Oh, okay. We are now seeing both of the players' online statistic information 13-3. So Mini is having a huge lead here.
Wow, I was not expecting to see that big of a lead, 13-3. What was interesting from that previous graph or statistic, I mean, was there was no PvPs. You noticed that, right? Everybody was playing PvT or PvZ between all of those, like, what was that, 9 series? There was not a single PvP mentioned. That is a bit curious to me that Protoss players don't end up facing off against each other quite often, I guess. Looks like players are in the booth now. So we are going to be getting into our games in just a couple minutes.
And yes, both of the players are wearing the headset, and we are going to see some statistic information. Mini has 50% win rate overall. Only played 7 games against Protoss, 3 wins and 4 losses, 43% win rate. That's not that bad because the statistic information is just the data is so small that we cannot really say he's bad or good. But he has an experience of that. He made it in the final before in season 7, so he definitely has more experience than Best probably.
Yeah, and if you look at that statistic, he had 40 games played versus Zerg and almost a 60% win rate. So as mentioned before, Mini is definitely a standout in the PvZ matchup, but not a lot of games played in PvP. Now we're getting a look at Best statistics here, and it's basically identical with win percentages at near 43%. Not a lot of games, of course, in the PvP matchup. We see that the majority of the games for Best are among Terran and Zerg. 53% win rate overall, though, so really, really strong Protoss player. Now, as mentioned before, PvP, a lot of micro-based openers, a lot of great Reaver control. Best is the guy that has insane macro, especially in PvT. Don't think that's a really big thing in the early stages of PvP, so we'll see if he can get to mid-game, get into late game, and just macro like a mad game and potentially run over Mini. First map is going to be Ascension. I don't think we've seen PvP on this map at all, right?
No, I don't think so. And the Ascension is chosen by Mini.
Okay, so let's get into game 1 of the first day of the round of 8. It's going to be Mini versus Best on Ascension. So in the bottom right in the yellow, it is Mini. And in the bottom left, we have our strong macro Protoss player. It is Best. Oh my gosh, that is a super fast probe going out.
Wow.
And is this so fast that it might be like a 7-7 gate?
No, I think he might be building a proxy gateway at the 9 o'clock, the high ground on the ramp, maybe, or is he gonna all the way scout to 12 o'clock. I'm not sure. Previously, I've seen some other players doing proxy gate in a 3-player map inside of an opponent's base, but is he planning to make the proxy gate at 10 o'clock?
Wow. So he guessed where Best was going to be, and unfortunately he guessed wrong. Best is not at the top location. And the pathway down to bottom left is not exactly the shortest position now, because now he's got to go all the way south, then he's got to hook to the left side just to get to Best base. I mean, this is still a little bit closer than Mini's main, I guess, if he proxied at the natural, but he was really hoping that Best was going to be at top middle, and this is a double 9 gate. So Mini's going to be really going hard on this.
Wow, so it's a 50% chance of doing the proxy gate, but it is a little bit unfortunate for Mini that he guessed this wrong. But I wonder what Best is planning to go with. Is he going to do a cybernetic score without making any zealot? We don't see any assimilator. Is that the assimilator already built inside of Best's main base? The colors?
I don't think it is. It looks like it has not been taken just yet. Oh, maybe it has been. It's hard to tell, really. The colors are so similar.
Yeah, the colors are so similar, but I think he has it. Okay, so we have to watch whether he is planning to do one zealot into Dragon opening or pure Dragon straightforward. Since
It's straight goon.
okay, so Best is also gonna be scouting Mini space as a last scout. So this potential of a zealot harassment in the beginning might able to do a lot of damage, and if Mini is able to put down any of a pylon block at the mineral field, the mineral patch, then it might also screw up Best's mining time. And here we are, we're going to be seeing pylon block here. Ooh.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the pylon can also start putting down shield battery potentially. And even though the proxy 8 was not in the ideal position, what is going for Mini is that Best is going to scout him second. And now he's going to come in here and be like, what? You don't have anything. Uh-oh. And now I wonder what Best is going to be doing to get back into this game. Instant second gate. There's the shield battery. But already there's going to be 2 zealots in his base. Still no goon. There's the goon. Oh, he almost caught the goon.
We can also see Best immediately cancel the Dragon range and saving up those money for the second gateway. And we are seeing, oh, that's a Mini.
Oh, he caught it. He caught it.
Oh, that's
That might be game over.
Yeah, first Dragon popped up, but the second Dragon will be popping out maybe in next 10 seconds, because if I remember from those Terran versus Protoss matchup, they usually get the second Dragon at 3 minutes 45 seconds, and he couldn't get the second Dragon at 3 minutes 45 seconds, so there is going to be GG. Wow.
Wow, so Mini is just bringing it to Best. This is really what I was hoping to see. Fireworks from the start. Not only a 2-gate opener, but a proxy 2-gate opener. And he was really committed. He was going all the way to the left side of the map, trying to get it as close as possible. And luckily for Mini, of course, getting last scouted helped him quite a bit. And unfortunately, that prediction of a 3-0 for Best if he wins the first game, well, that's already down the drain. And now he's got to be extremely worried about Mini, because I don't think I've seen Mini do something that hyper aggressive in any of the matchups we've seen or any of the games we've seen all season long.
Yeah, I think the mistake that Best have made was probably putting down the second gateway below the cybernetic score, and it was kind of helping Mini to do the pylon block for the second Dragon, and I think that just probably triggered him to lose the game here.
Yeah, he even canceled the second gate at the end to make sure that his Dragoon didn't get walled in. Well, that was a quick game 1. Yeah, and I was wondering if we were going to go into commercial. It looks like we are. So that was like, what, like a 5-minute game, and already we're in commercial, so we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Alright guys, we are back. We're going to be getting into game 2 already because Mini just had a really nice 2-gate pressure build, ended up just killing Best simply because he played a little bit too greedy and went for, or was unable to find Mini in the first position. Wasn't able to respond in time, and that kind of just happens sometimes in PvP, so I wouldn't think too much about it. Best, of course, is still going to have a good shot to take down Mini, but Mini is showing a little bit of a different side to himself with that very aggressive opener. Now our next map, if I remember correctly, is going to be Ultimate Stream.
Yes, that is correct. It was chosen by Best.
또 하나의 소식을 안내해 드릴 텐데요. 많은
It's a
분들의 성원에
4-player
힘입어
map.
매진됐던
Also has a
ASL
high ground
컴플러가
expansion,
내일부터 추가
like the natural
판매된다고
expansion.
합니다.
It's
5월 10일
somewhat
오후
similar to
5시부터
Ring
구매가
Loop.
가능하다고
I'm not sure if the map
하니까요.
maker
관심
is the
있으신
same
분들은
person,
아프리카 샵을
but I
참고하시기
feel
바랍니다.
like both of the players might gonna go
자,
for
8강
expansion
첫
really
번째
fast.
경기 1세트에서 기선
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and as you were saying it, I was like, well, maybe Mini just goes for proxy 2-gate on one of the high ground bases in the middle of the map and just tries to kill Best again with a hyper aggressive move.
Yeah, if he is on a great feeling in this round of 8, Mini might be going for another proxy double 9-gate once again.
I would really like to see that, because even if he does it and loses, it kind of sets the tone for the series that I'm going to be hyper aggressive, and then all of a sudden maybe Mini can get away with a super greedy opener in game 3 and set him up for a really good mid-game play. So I would personally like to see that from Mini. Curious to see if he's going to have that same mindset, or if he's just going to go for a standard opener or even a very greedy opener potentially on this map, because Ultimate Stream, as we've seen, is a long rush distance map, and it has high ground advantage as the defender. So let's get into game 2. Mini off to a quick lead in this PvP series. So in the bottom right in the green, already up 1-0, it is Mini. And in the top left in the orange, he definitely does not want to get swept 3-0 in such a quick fashion. It is Best. We don't see any probe movement so far, so maybe we're not going to see any forward gate shenanigans this time around.
And I kind of want to talk about the Ultimate Stream. I was playing one of the pro leagues last night with Noob, the NBC game hero Noob, and KT Roster and Motive. They were playing PvP on the Ultimate Stream. This game is going to be a long game in my opinion, because there's so many high grounds that they can defend easily, and the rush distance is also very far, and also very easy to take the natural as well. And looks like Best is gonna go for Pylon Scout. Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, not only does he scout fast, is he really cross scouting right here? Is he really gonna find Mini in the first position? Okay, no, he's going to hook back around to the bottom left side. Now Mini has more than 150 minerals. Meanwhile, Best, I think, has queued up additional probes also. So both players setting up for what looks to be 12 Nexus.
Yeah, either it's going to be a 12 Nexus or 13 into a 15 Nexus. I heard there's also a build. If someone goes for just standard gateway into a Dragoon or the Zealot Pressure, you can counter it with the 13 gateway, but looks like none of them will go for the 13 gateway. But Best has started with the Pylon Scout. He got cheesed by the proxy 2-gate from the last game, so he is playing a little bit of save right now. His Nexus is going to be delayed. Everything is going to be delayed here.
Yeah, and you can see the build order is slightly delayed for Best. Not only is he already down a probe, okay, now he catches up. He's gonna have, like, what was the Nexus? Maybe like 5 or 6 seconds delayed compared to Mini. So that means that Mini's gonna have an additional probe coming out of that Nexus that is natural, much quicker than Best. Slightly economic lead for him. Nothing super major, of course. Now, looking at the map, we always... Oh, that's a great block. Not only does he catch one probe, he catches a second one, too. But we always talk about the high grounds and stuff like that on Hidden Stream. But if you look at the main is quite open. Stuff like Reaver Drop, Storm Drop could be very deadly if somebody's able to get in there while something is happening in the center of the map.
So we just heard the pylon being cancelled, and Mini is finally going to scout Best's main base. And looks like both of the players is making a single zealot each, and I think Mini is trying to find a great spot to put some pylon block, but Best is denying it really well here.
He almost caught that probe at the top side, but ends up getting denied. You can see that supplies are slightly in favor of Mini, but that's because of the zealot, like you just mentioned. Oh, he might block it. Nope, he ends up not opting for it. Heard something else get canceled. Was that another pylon block that got canceled down in Mini's main? It seems like it, since those probes are still mining kind of suboptimally. Meanwhile, both players' naturals are up.
And in this kind of situation, I have a feeling none of them will go for Dragon range, because if you're going for the Dragon range against the natural high ground, there's no chance to break. There's no chance to break with the Dragon range. So I have a feeling both of the players either gonna go for setup Dune or super fast robotic facility, because if you're just going for the pure army with the Dragon range, you can't really get any benefits from there.
Well, we see Mini has 3 zealots out, and Best only has 1. He hasn't really used any of the zealots to send across the map just yet. Meanwhile, we do see a small gap in the supply simply because Best only has 1 zealot, I think. Now, is that going to be the core just now building? Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that he had the core complete. That's going to be a robo at the entrance, and similar timing for Best.
Yeah, both of the players will have exact same army, and they both know that going for the Dragon range with the Dragon rush will not going to get any return from there. So both of the players will be constantly scouting, but finally Best will be picking up the Mini's probe, and Mini is now having a lot of mineral. Is he gonna go for a ninja expand? Maybe not.
Yeah, I was thinking that if range is not a big upgrade, why not just go for a fast, potentially fast Nexus, or something like a fast Citadel and like a ton of gateways like that right there. You can go into, this could be like mass speed zealot. Well, maybe potentially you think it could be mass speed zealot?
I just saw Mini's natural. Mini's Nexus is not blinking, so he's right now trying to saturate with the 2 base mining. So he's not planning to get the second gas as well. So right now Mini has 1 more extra gateway compared to Best, but both of the players will have the exact same build, but he has an extra gateway, so he's going to be pumping out lots of unit, and Mini's still not making any probe right now. He's not having floating minerals.
Yeah, and you can see that he's building a support bay along with Best. I'm very confused kind of, because since he doesn't have a lot of gas, it's not Goon Reaver, right? And that's kind of a very strong army. It looks like this is going to be Speed Zealot Reaver.
Yes, I think it will be a Speed Zealot Reaver. And now Best is also cutting his probe at the moment. And all those investment gas both of the players have spent, I think, after they're getting the Speed Zealot, probably getting the Speed Shuttle, because you can tell from natural to main base, the distance from there is going to be so long that Speed Shuttle will do quite a lot of job. Okay. He will be seeing there's a lot of zealots standing at the natural, so he knows what is coming.
Yeah, so Best is thinking, okay, we're doing identical builds, and he's pretty much correct, other than Mini has an additional gate, and Best seems to have flat out more probes. So the longer the game goes, the better Best is going to be, or the better position Best is going to be, I think. Now, he's going to intercept these zealots. However, a lot of the zealots went unscouted, and we may have a base trade scenario.
Yeah, both of the players are right now moving into a base trade. Best is going to be pulling off his probe, but he has only 4 gateways.
Oh my gosh, Artosa's pylon. Oh my god, Artosa's pylon. If that gateway gets unpowered, this might be lights out for Best. You can see that the fight is already occurring for on best side of that. Meanwhile, Mini, back in his main, he's gonna have to defend with pure Zealot versus Zealot Reaver.
We can also see the supply count. The Mini's, the Artosis pylon. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing that as well. But Best is not doing. Best is not killing the pylon, and he's not also killing the probe. We can see the supply count. Mini has more supply count. He was killing the gateway, not the pylon, so he's going to have more additional reinforcement to kill some of the Zealots here and there.
He's gonna get. He almost gets that Reaver. Is this over?
It might
Best has
be
no
over.
probes in a second. Look at the supply, 75 to 44. Meanwhile, now the Reaver finally starts shooting the probes, but he can just go to his natural and mine.
Yeah, Mini has reacted much better compared to Best at the moment. And there's Reaver Scarab. Finally, will be taking it down.
That is a lot of Zealots still in the main for Mini. Wow, a massive Reaver shot takes down 4 out of the 7 Zealots. But look at the supplies, 59 to 60, or to 25, I mean. Meanwhile, Goons have now come out. That Reaver is so dangerously low, but this game is done. There's no way that Best can catch up, and still Mini is mining right now, even if it's only with a couple probes.
I think this might be a GG because I don't see Best can make any units, and we can see Mini already transferred a couple of probes
he can build an
here,
Nexus
so
here.
yeah, he can.
And he's still
even
mining in his main.
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect crisis management for Mini here. Not only did he go for a mine game in the first game, he catches the Reaver. Not only does he go for a mine game, puts pressure on to Best in the first game, but now he's just simply out managed him in a chaotic game. So all you Best fans need to be very worried that Mini is really on point today. See you, Reaver.
Yeah, as soon as that Reaver dies, I think he's going to be tapping out soon. Only 2 pro mining. There's GG.
Wow, so Mini is really on point, and even though both players had pretty much identical builds, Mini was just more on top of it. He prioritized the better things, focusing down the Artosis pylon. He got into the main and killed all the probes ASAP. Meanwhile, Best was just too hesitant to kill all the key structures, and Mini was able to mine even with a couple probes in his main, also at his nexus, and it just allowed him to produce a little bit too many units for Best to hand, or for Best to plow through in Mini's main. And he's going to be up 2-0 now, and now Mini's 1 game away from making it out of this group in literally like 20 minutes. The first game was 5 minutes, that was maybe like 10.
Yeah, that was a super fast best of 5 series that I've seen so far. 2-0 so far for Mini. He's looking really great, and the third map is also chosen by Mini. So Best has no option. It's not Best's favor because he did not choose that map. So he really needs to react what Mini is going to be using, which strategy he might be using against Best. He might be using Proxy Gateway once again and show him how strong he is. So Best really needs to make a comeback here.
Well, I think that we're probably going to go into a Hot 6 commercial, because if we don't go into one right now, we may not have another chance. I was kind of surprised that we ended up going into a commercial after the first game because it was so short. But yeah, as you mentioned, Polypoid going to be the map choice for Mini, so he obviously has something planned. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just likes this map the most. But if you're in Best's shoes here, you got to be thinking like, wow, this guy must have something planned, simply because he's been super aggro in the first game. Then he had a really slick build on the map we just played, Ultimate Stream. I would be really worried and paranoid about the Polypoid game. I may even think about Best opening with just like Zealot into Goon to make sure he doesn't die. And maybe Mini gets away with something ultra greedy. I guess we are going to be going into commercial, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be game 3 in just a couple minutes. Oh, nope, there it is. There's the Hot 6 commercial. I knew it was going to be coming because this series is going so quickly.
I think they always have a pattern, like after the game number 2, they always do a Hot 6 commercial here. And he's talking about the red color, probably asking each other, have you ever tried this red one? It's like, I probably did, or I don't.
Yeah, I have only tried the white one. I bought it at the store after the first cast, but I haven't tried the rest. Let me ask you, if you're playing in this series and you're in best situation, you're down 2-0, guy just proxy gated you in the first game also. What's your opener for game 3? Are you gonna try and match the aggression? Are you gonna just play defensive? Like, okay, you're not gonna cheese me again.
I think he has to gamble a little because we have seen how Snow was reacting to the Dark Templar build when Beast was using it. So I think Mini might not going to use the Dark Templar build. So most likely it's going to be Dragoon into a robotic facility follow up. So if Best wants to be greedy against that robotic facility build, he has to go with a single gateway into super fast expansion, like one gateway expansion, and kind of like excluding the Dark Templar rush.
Yeah, that could be the build choice for Best. We'll have to see if that's what he ends up opting for. I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to get ultra aggressive in game 3. I don't really expect him to be somebody that will like proxy 2-gate in the center of the map with his life on the line. So Mini's going to have... I think Mini can instantly discredit that as a build in game 3. I would like to just see the standard opener, the Zealot opener, into Goon, into Reaver, as you said, and with that fast expansion. But maybe Mini expects that, especially with how the games have flowed, and we may see something like a 3-gate opener, just try and pounce on him before any of the key tech units like the Reaver kick in for Best.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some aggressive playstyle
Here we
from
go.
both players, and they are not opening the can.
I like how the music changes every time they're about to drink. Look at Into the Rain, he's about to chug 2 of them at once. I wonder which one tastes better, you think, the blue or the white one?
I haven't tried both of them yet, so I don't know. And now we're hearing the side storm here. Maybe it could be the expression of how he's feeling.
There we go. I don't understand this ice storm reaction, but I guess maybe with what they're saying, it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. When they're drinking, we hear side storm.
Yeah. Middle commentator loves the... He's always got the best reactions. Oh, looks like we are going to go into the commercial, I think. Maybe? Yep, here we go. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a minute or so. All right, it's time for potentially the last game of the day. Mini is up 2-0. He wants to close it out. It's his map pick. It's going to be Polypoid. He has really brought it to best today. First game with a nice cheese, but then simply outplayed on Ultimate Stream. And Best is not going to be feeling very good, especially after the second game. It's never a good feeling to lose to a player when you both do basically identical builds, because then you know he simply is just outclassing you. So I'm very worried for Best here that this might be a easy 3-0 victory for Mini, but I am a believer in the comeback. I'm hoping that Best will turn it around.
Yeah, I hope Best is making a great play and somehow Mini is making a mistake and start to make a comeback for the game number 3. I want to see that. I hope to see that happening. And yeah, Best really needs to take some big breath and needs to focus on the game number 3.
And so we are going into game 3. Let's see if Mini can close it out, be our first finisher into the round of 4, or if Best starts staging his comeback. Okay, so in the top right, in the blue, 1 game away, it is Mini. And in the bottom left, so cross spawns again, we have our red Protoss. It is Best. Now, both you and I seem to think that Best is going to go for a little bit of a greedy opener.
Oh,
Probably
no.
gonna it's going to be another proxy.
Yeah, I think
Now-
Mini is going for the proxy gateway once again because he spawned in at the 1 o'clock, and I probably mentioned so many times like the horizontal mining at the right side of the mineral patch is also a favor for the Mini. So yeah, he's gonna absolutely have more income, but even if he pulls out the probe really this fast, he's gonna have the pile much faster than Best right now here.
Okay, I'm looking at the terrain right now. I guess Gateway can go on the bottom, and Gateway can go to the left. I thought for a second that maybe 2 gates can't even fit there. I also thought maybe Mini was trying to proxy gate at mid-left like he did on Ascension. But this is brutal for Best because it's Polypoid. We know that a lot of players have been skipping the Zealot, and I have a feeling that, well, you know, I want Best to not skip the Zealot, but because you and I both kind of feel like he's going to be kind of greedy, there's a high chance he's going to skip the Zealot here, and this might be another just instant victory for Mini. Wow, he's going... Okay, he's just acting like he's top right, and he's going to go back down to the bottom right. He doesn't want to give away that... Oh my gosh, Best. He's going vertical, and he's not going to scout the center like he did on Ultimate Stream last time.
Interesting. I hope Best is not making a mistake just like the first game where the first Dragoon got trapped by his own probe and then surrounded by Mini's 3 Zealot. I hope that doesn't happen once again, and we can see the cybernetic scores immediately started, and we gotta keep our eyes on Best's supply count 14. Is he going to be anything?
Oh, he built a Zealot.
Okay, yeah, he's going to be making a Zealot this time.
So I got my hand in the air. I'm rooting for Best to at least take a game here so we can go to game 4 and potentially game 5. But even with 1 Zealot in production, he's going to have a hard time stopping this. Cybernetics is about to finish. Meanwhile, he still hasn't gotten into Mini's main. Oh, is he going to scout the center, or is he going to go bottom right? He's going to
not
miss. Are you serious? He's going to miss it completely.
The time of a Mini is a probe scout kind of forced Best to think that Mini is at the 5 o'clock, but no, his guess is wrong, and now we're gonna be seeing double pylon being built. Oh no, the first Dragoon always comes out at 3 minutes 12 seconds, somewhere around there, so gotta be careful. The Dragoon will be popping out soon, but he needs to block the path with the probe, really be able to get the Dragoon out.
Well, Best has already pulled all of his probes, and this is already game-ending damage, and his goon gets caught! No. He didn't use the probe to glitch the goon to the other side, and this is most likely game over.
Wait, actually, he's killing the Zealot really well.
Yeah, but look how many probes he lost.
Yeah,
He's not
also-
even mining, really. Look, he can't even build another unit after this second unit comes out of the gateway, and this is going to be a 3-0,
no.
I think, for Mini. The Goon, because it's stuck, he can just go to the Nexus now. He doesn't have to fight here. GG, there it is. So this is going to be a 3-0 victory for Mini in literally 20 minutes. That was a sub 4-minute game.
Yeah, that first game was like, he didn't get the second Dragoon, so that's like 3 minute 40 seconds, another 3 minute 40 seconds, and 10 minutes for the second game. So that's like 20 minute total of a PvP of this round of 8.
Look at the reaction from Mini either. He's not smiling. He's not doing anything. Just a stone cold killer. Meanwhile, Best, who lost the game and lost the series, he's the one smiling. I can tell you, if me and Mini are friends after that game, oh, I am pissed. We're not playing online for a couple days. I gotta cool off. I can't believe that Mini pulled out Proxy 2-gate on Polypod again. I really thought that he was setting up Best with the first 2 games and was going to go for a powering build, but he caught me completely off guard and obviously caught Best off guard. And unfortunately, that cross scout just missing the center gates, I can't believe it.
Wow. Yeah,
Well, we're going to be going into an interview in just a minute with our winner. This is one of the fastest best of 5s I've ever seen.
I wanted to see some macro-oriented late game by Best, but all of those dirty strategies that Mini has used in the first game and the third game, it's just Mini is just better and knows how to do with the proxy gate. And now I guess a lot of Protoss fans right now out on the Africa stream, they're probably gonna start doing the proxy 2-gate against Protoss now.
ASL 시즌 11 첫 번째 4강 진출자가 탄생했습니다.
So now we are going to be meeting up first player who is going to be making it to semi-final first. He is going to be Mini. 3-0. Congratulations, Mini.
와, 정말 경기를 어떻게 준비하신 건지
How did you
궁금할
prepare?
정도로
And we
변현재
are
선수가
all
이렇게
curious.
승부사다운 모습이라니요.
We are all curious about it.
변현재에서 두
And
번의 구구게이트를
네.
어떻게 된
in this
건가요?
best of 5 series, you did
일단은
double 9-gate.
솔직히 푸푸전은 이 대회에서 약간 운이 좀 많이 작용한다고 생각했거든요. 그래서 이제 첫 번째
How did you come
대회에서
up with that idea?
스케이트를
And
했을
Mini is
때
saying that
이제 통하면
when you're
이제
playing in a
상대로
long
이제
series
계속
like a best of
심리전으로
5,
이끌어가고
when you have
첫
to
번째
have
경기가
a really
이제
strong
제가
mindset.
서치가 당하거나 그러면 이제 운이
So
없다라는 이제 얘기니까 이제 그때서야 이제 좀 운영으로 하려고 했는데 이제
from the
첫 번째
first
경기가
game when he was
그때였잖아요.
doing the
이제 제가
proxy
너무
gateway
잘
at the 10 o'clock
네.
side and not
세 번째
spotting
경기까지 하게 됐죠.
Best at the 12 o'clock
첫
side, so
번째
did not have a
세트에서
lucky
상대의
scout, lucky
심리를
guess
좀
there.
날려보자
So he was
라는
planning to
작전이
do-
오늘 제대로
He was planning to do
먹혀들었던 것 같아요.
macro-oriented game for the game number 2 and game number 3, but he started to feel like he has confidence that all of the strategies that he is doing, it was really working really well. So he decided to go
네,
another
원래 그
proxy
첫 번째
double
경기가
9
잘
gateway at
풀리면
the
이제 두
number
번째 경기도
3.
이제 전진 게이트를 서치할 거라고 생각했거든요.
네.
이제 그렇게 되면 이제 당연히 이제 세 번째
So
경기도
Mini is saying that after showing
경기도 이제
the
온라인에서
proxy
센터
double 9 gateway in the first
게이트를 하는
game,
사람들이 없더라고요.
he was pretty sure that Best will be scouting the
두
center.
번째 경기까지 잘 풀리면 세 번째 경기도 무조건 통한다고 생각을 했었어요.
And I think he probably watched the replay and
이렇게
figured out that
빨리
Best was
다전제가
checking out the
끝날지
center
아마
from the
많은
game number
분들이
2, so he
예상하기
realized that
힘들었을 것 같아요.
Best is
변현재
on a
선수가 이렇게 좀
Best
대담하게
is on a
경기를 풀어나가는
not good
모습을
spot.
보고
So Mini
아마
did it again,
이제 다음
once again,
8강
and then
경기를
game number 3.
준비하고 있는 김명훈 선수, 정영재 선수는 또 머리가 좀 아파질 것 같다. 물론 8강을 이겨야 변현재 선수를 만나는 거지만
So
라는
in
생각이
semi-final,
드는데
you are
이제 정말
going to be
본인이 원하던
playing
타
against
종족전을
either
정말 오랜만에 4강에서
JYJ or
어떤
Queen.
종족을
I know they
만나면
haven't played yet.
좀
They're going
변현재 선수가
to be
날아다닐 수
played on
있을
a
거라는
Tuesday.
생각이 드시나요?
솔직히 자신 있는 종족전은
And
무조건 저그전인데
what is your favorite
김명훈
matchup?
선수를
He said he
근데
wants to
저그전이
play
이제
against
예를
Zerg.
들면 이제
Queen.
4강에서 7판 4선지잖아요. 그래가지고
Start,
혹시나 결승까지 이제 저그를 만나게
When you're in
되면
semi-final, you started to play best of
두번다 7판 4선
7?
이기는 토스가 너무 힘들거든요. 그게 너무 걱정돼요.
Even though he has
그
a
미를
strong
바라보고
matchup,
있거든요.
Protoss
영훈이
versus
형전을
Zerg.
이제 최선을 다하면
Since it's a best of 7 series in
결승에서 못 이길 것
semi-final,
같고
he thinks
이제 명훈이
that
형전을 최선을 다하지
안
it's not going to be
하면
a
못 이길 것 같고 그래서
it's not going to be a
솔직히
good series for
저그 테란을
Protoss.
거나 테란 저그를 만났으면 좋겠어요.
벌써 지금 우승을 향한 로드맵을 좀 그리고 있는 듯한 변현재 선수예요.
So he is
아무래도
making up
그만큼
all those
자신감이
plans.
좀
Which player
있다는
making
이야기가
into
되겠죠.
semi-final? He kind of
진짜
wants to
신이
see either Protoss versus Zerg on the final or Zerg
이게
versus
오늘
Terran in the
운이 많이
final.
작용해서 4강에서도
In this round of 8, Mini is saying
시즌 7 준우승 이후에 진짜
he had a
오랜만에
really good
시즌 11에서
he had a really good luck in this game
기회를
of a
얻으신
best of 5
거잖아요.
series. So
스스로에 대해서 좀
he's feeling
각오도
great.
굉장히 남다르게 다지고 계실 거란 생각이 들어요.
네, 솔직히 저번 시즌에 다전제를 저그전하면 잘할 거라고 생각했는데 16강에서
Mini saying
이번
from the
시즌도
previous
다전제만
season,
오면 이제 자신 있다라고
when he was
생각했는데
playing a
이제
long
8강을
series against the
뚫었으니
Zerg,
이제
even though he has a
들어가야 될것 같아요.
strong matchup against the Zerg, he got eliminated in round of 16 from previous
다시
season.
한번 각인시켜주면서 완승을 거둔 변현재 선수.
So he
많은
wants
분들이 또
to
4강도 기대하고 응원해 주실 것
he wants to
같습니다.
improve
팬들에게도
more
한
on
말씀
the
전해주시죠.
mistakes that
길게
he has
말씀해
done in
주셔도
the
될 것
previous.
같아요.
일단 8강을 이렇게
Any last word
너무
for
빨리 끝날 줄
your fans,
몰랐는데
to your fans, and Mini saying
이제 4강에서는 이제 7판 4선이다 보니 이제 좀 많은 준비를 해가지고 더 좋은 모습을 보여줘야
like he said in an interview, he didn't really practice. He was playing against the computer and doing weird strategies to figure out the optimization. So it really worked out well for him. And he said on a semi-final, it is going to be a best of 7 series. He really thinks that he really needs to analyze and study more and prepare for the best of 7 series.
Now, of course, we are getting a look at the remaining best round of 8. We've got JYJ versus Queen coming up on Tuesday, Hero versus Snow on Sunday, and then Larva versus Rush to round out the round of 8 and find out who our round of 4 finalists are going to be. But Scan, that's it.
Wow.
We're here and we're gone in an instant, less than an hour.
Yeah, but I hope to see some great games against JYJ against Queen in next Tuesday. It's going to be on May 11th, Tuesday, same time. I hope JYJ. Did he play against Queen in round of 24, round of 16?
We saw him play versus Soma, right? I don't think he played versus Queen. He eliminated Soma.
Oh yeah.
So we got to see his turn versus Zerg there, and it looked pretty good. But we have not really seen Queen play much this time around.
Yeah. So since JYJ beat the second place player Soma from round of 16, I hope he really plays really well against ASL champion. I'm excited to see some JYJ's optimization, so something I can learn from.
Yeah, and JYJ, as I said last week after, or maybe not last week, but a couple weeks ago after his performance versus Soma, he's going to be my dark horse for the round of 8. I think he could go very far because he's playing exceptionally well. And last season, he knocked out Bisu, so his Terran versus Protoss is no joke. But going up against Queen here, the former ASL champion from the past 2 seasons, he's got his work cut out for him. But because he's already taken down Soma, maybe JYJ has got what it takes to take him down. We see the map pool, Eclipse, Polypoid, Fighting Spirit, Ascension, Polaris, Rhapsody don't have Hidden Stream, and we don't have, or Hidden Track, and we don't have Ultimate Stream.
I think it is really looking great for Terran's favorite because Eclipse on a 2-player map, Terran versus Zerg. Zerg is going to have so much of a difficult time taking the 4th expansion, and Polypoid, we can see if it ever goes to a late game, we can start to see some battle cruisers and start denying the 2nd gas and then the 4th gas. So I think it's gonna make Queens to starve, and Fighting Spirit, a lot of a lot of people are crying about that. It's a Terran favorite map, like 8 racks cheese. So I think it's going to be looking great for JYJ.
Yeah, and I like how you pointed out the battle cruiser denying the gas on Polypoid, because if you think about whether you can do that on Fighting Spirit, I mean, you can definitely do that. If you get Zerg at top left or bottom right, you can easily deny fourth base gas in the same fashion. And we saw JYJ do that versus Soma. Not only was he multitasking like a madman, he was macroing like a god, and he had the BCs. He built like 10 BCs that game. I don't know if you remember that, but he denied the gas for a long time while also killing the fifth base of Soma. So I think JYJ really does have a good shot at taking down Queen, especially with that map pool that you pointed out. So we are just waiting to wrap up for the day. I would have loved to get the insights from Into the Rain. What are his thoughts on that PvP? Because as everybody knows, Into the Rain is one of the oldest, best Protoss players from the past. I'm sure he was loving the old school proxy gates in particular.
I do believe it. Same. And I kind of want to talk about the game number 2 in this PvP match. That both of the players were doing the same build, but Mini had an extra gateway. But I don't think it really matters whenever you're taking down the Artosis pylon. But I'm not sure what Best was really doing. I know he was attacking Mini's base, but he wasn't killing the pylon. But Mini was prioritizing killing the Best's probe and also taking down the pylon as soon as possible. I think all those are priority that players were focusing. It just made a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely better game sense there for Mini. I think both players after that game are going to definitely reconsider only building a single pylon if they have another PvP with an opener like that. Definitely going to put down a second pylon in case they get into another base trade scenario. I don't think that if they were to play again, we would only see one pylon. But in the end, Mini is the one that gets the victory. I really thought Best was going to put up a better performance. You know, the builds that we saw didn't really surprise me that much because coming into it, as I mentioned, when you think of PvP, you think of Reaver harassment. But Mini and Best, in my opinion, are not the players that you think of with the best Reaver harassment. It's always Bisu, Stork, Snow. So having crazy games did not surprise me at all. I am a little bit sad we didn't get to see the DTs. But, you know, sometimes that happens.
I wonder how the game would have gone if none of them or one of the players has played a little bit defensive style instead of going all in that game number 2. Because it is also a high ground. If one of the players were just going for pure defense with the Reaver and just having same amount of units as the opponent has, then the person who's on the defending side was always going to have the economic lead. But it is somewhat interesting that both of the players has gone for a super aggressive build order.
Yeah, that's why it was so weird to me when I saw the Citadel and the support bait. I'm like, okay, well, doesn't Reaver just murder Zealots? Like, if somebody sits on the high ground, like you said, how are you ever getting up?
Yeah, like putting down some cannons and maybe get the second Reaver out and just killing the enemy Zealots instantly. Then I think that all-in, or I should say cheese, might going to fall behind in mid and late game. But it was kind of interesting to see those weird strategies that you can really see on a normal standard map.
And, you know, thinking back to that game, remember Best got his probe in and saw 7 Zealots at the natural.
Yeah.
So he knew what Mini was doing, yet he still felt obligated to be the one that was aggressive. And, like, let's say Mini doesn't move out at the same time like Best does. Well, then Best would have been the one attacking into high ground, and obviously Mini would have had a Reaver sitting there. So it was a very confusing move from Best in the end, of course. I mean, they're obviously much better players than I am, but just simply watching it from the observer's point of view, especially after scouting that many Zealots, I am a bit surprised that Best ended up moving out.
Yeah, Best also saw there were 8 Zealots on the high ground at the natural, and the second Nexus was not blinking, and he probably have seen Mini was not mining the second gas, but he probably didn't see the second gas, but he can see the what is it, transferring those probe from back and forth from the Vespine gas to the Nexus. He probably realized that Mini was going for the all-in build, but I don't know why Best played that way.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but sometimes it's just not your day. And unfortunately for Best, today was not his day, and he's going to be eliminated in the round of 8. He played, decently well throughout the tournament. His PVT kind of looked off also. If you remember the games he had versus, was it Sharp? Where even though he was macroing like a god, of course, he was running through so many mines and just losing all of his units. I think overall this ASL was not the best showing for Best, and I think when he reviews the games, he will refine his play and come back stronger than ever in ASL 12. It looks like the casters are wrapping up the cast for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely tune in on Tuesday. We're going to see the champ from last season facing off versus JYJ. We can see if JYJ can continue his crazy run, taking out Bisu last season, now taking out Soma this season. And if he takes down Queen, he might be the front runner to take it all because he looks unstoppable. So definitely you want to tune in to see that. Oh, well, did I get debated? I thought we were wrapping up.
Yeah, the caster in the middle, he was looking at the camera, but now he's talking about something else. But I think they might be maybe they're waiting to get the sign so they can start wrapping it up.
Yeah, we're not too sure what they're waiting for.
So I kind of also want to talk about the East, or I should say Asian language, and the Western language like the English. When you're speaking Asian language like Korean, if you're kind of like mumbling, you kind of pronounce better. To be honest.
You pronounce better?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, I mean, obviously I don't speak Korean very well, so I'm not too sure about that.
And I also heard when those elementary kids in Korea, when they're learning English, all those native English speaker teachers are telling those students to move their mouth more or open their mouth more so they can pronounce it better. So I think that could be a little bit of difference, that it is somewhat difficult to read lips when they're talking Korean. So yeah, it is hard to guess.
Yes, I have heard that English speakers do pronounce more clearly. They use their lips more. Actually in Korean class, a lot of people ask the teacher, like, okay, well, because of Corona, we can't really interact with people that much. So if we do interact with somebody, how can we effectively practice our speaking? And the first thing they said was, don't talk to the older generation because they talk so fast, they don't pronounce very clearly, that you really should try and talk to the younger generation, like college students. And after she said that, I went to a butcher shop, and this time around it was definitely a young cashier, and I could notice that I could understand what he was saying, but all the other times I went to the butcher shop with a older guy, it was really hard to understand. So it is funny for you to hear that you say when they mumble, it's easier to understand, because I have not had that same experience.
It's easier to pronounce or talk in Korean, I heard.
Okay, well, I am not there at that level of Korean yet. It's very hard for me, especially the all sound, because that's not a sound that you make. Yeah, all. It's not a sound that you make in English, really, ever. So that I find to be very difficult to understand, because it kind of sounds like ah to me often, and I get confused at what the person is actually saying.
Well, if you're trying to pronounce gun without the N, like stretch the ga, maybe it might be easier to say then. Like gun, but without, you drop the N, but you kind of stretch it like with the G, then I think it might be a little bit helpful for pronouncing.
Well, I'll have to practice that. I haven't heard that example.
And we can also
yet.
see from the banner. Banner? Yeah, Ultra Gear. Ultra Gear.
Yeah, but even you pronouncing that, the gyro, like that's not the same sound as gun. The gun has like an sound, so it's kind of different in that aspect. But yeah, that I find that sound so hard to understand, especially when speaking.
Yeah, we don't have the rolling R. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you drop that rolling R, it might be easier then. Gear.
The hardest thing for me when learning Korean was when you have the patchim at one of the first, is it first words or first letters? And then you have a vowel. Oh, it looks like we're going to wrap up. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Tuesday, it's going to be JYJ versus Zero. Definitely check that out. See if JYJ can continue his run, or if Zero's going to continue his domination in the past 3 ASLs now. It's going to be a really exciting round of 8. You definitely want to see that. So we will see you on Tuesday, same time, same place.
Upgrade complete.
Warriors have engaged the enemy.